Well, let me tell you what I started doing that's been amazing. I heard it on a podcast recently was take 30 minutes in the morning with not looking at your phone, reading anything, and just sit in the dead quiet.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that the last 2 or 3 days, and it has been amazing. And it said in there that the first 20 minutes, your brain's all over the place. And then when it gets down to that last 20 minutes or the last 10 or 15 minutes, your brain really starts getting clarity and you start realizing, hey, I need to do this. And it starts giving you guidance, and your own spirit within you will tell you, hey, I need to do this, or I need to lean this way, or okay, I've been thinking about this decision or problem, and it starts giving you better clarity. And in the podcast, the guy talked about, or in the thing I was watching was, hey, you need to get it to an hour. It's hard. And the first day I kept wanting to pick up my phone. I kept wanting to do other things. And I'm like, I cannot believe I cannot sit still for 30 minutes. Second and third day got better. And this morning was a lot better, but it was cool.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters podcast, joined by Tony Carder. Tony, I saw you on Jonas Olson's podcast, and I was like, man, I got to get this guy on my podcast. Tony is founder of True North Pest Control. He is from Georgia originally, but now he resides in Florida. And Tony, man, what an honor to have you on the show. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you wind up in pest control?
Well, Andrew, thank you for having me on the show. I greatly appreciate it. So I was born into the business. My dad started our original company in 1985. So I was probably in the 9th grade, I think, when he got going, or 8th grade. And then as I started growing up, 10th grade or 11th, I think it was, I got out of school early at 10:30 every day and just went to work for my dad. And my grandfather was there working for him. And so basically I was the grunt that did all the drilling and all the termite work, the trenching and the crawl spaces, doing all the daily grind. And then my grandfather would do all the chemical applications. That was long before baiting for termites. And so I did that for 5 or 6 years and kind of just grew under my dad as my mentor and coach. And finally one day he decided to retire in 2000. And 2006, I wound up buying the business from the family and kind of took it from there.
I love that, man. Well, where's it at today in terms of overall sales revenue?
So in 2000, we purchased Active Pest Control was the brand back then. I purchased it in 2006. It was founded, like I said, by my dad in 1985. And we took that brand all the way to 2019. And in 2019, Rentokil North America was in that big acquisition mode. And they came in and we were the 34th or 36th largest company in the country at that time for residential. And they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And I went back to my dad and said, hey, what would you do? And he said, it will take you 25 years to make that kind of money. I think we need to take it and run. And so I was blessed to do that and took a 5-year break, like a lot of people do with the non-compete. And in 24, we started the new brand, True North Pest Control, that we have now. So kind of got back into what we were doing.
This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it. During the 5 years, did you have an itch to do anything else, or did you always know you wanted to get back into pest control?
I had no desire to actually get back in the pest control business. We had built through my years of entrepreneurship. I've owned a heat and air business, two sanitation companies, several other companies. So my son had graduated from high school and was supposed to go to Georgia to play football, and decided he didn't want to do that. So I'm like, look, you can't work in the bug business because I sold it the day you went to college, and you're too young to work for the company. I was under a 12-month agreement to work for them. So we acquired a small sanitation company, and we built that business from 2019, and we sold it in 24 when we decided to get back in the pest control business full time.
Well,
So
what does sanitation entail per se? I feel like that could mean a lot of things. What all was that?
it was straight residential trash pickup. We started doing commercial front load, and then we, of course, had the roll off side. So it's just subscription based residential trash pickup outside of municipalities. We never had a single municipality. They grew that business from 1,600 customers almost to 17,000 when we sold it in just over 4 years. So we know how to grow companies, and that's part of it that we've been blessed with, is knowing the mindset of what it takes to stack on customers quickly and efficiently. So I was excited to do that. And then my son was like, hey, I wanted to move to Florida. And I said, well, if we're going to do it, I want to do it in Florida. I said, if you move to Florida, I'll move to Florida. So we moved down here in 24 and started this location with we have 5 total locations already, 3 in Georgia and 2 in Florida. And then we actually open our 6th location here in a couple of weeks. So we're excited about doing that. So yeah, so now we're off and running back in the pest business pretty heavy.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Collar Business Advisors. If you're running an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or landscaping, or any other type of home service business and wondering where all the money is going despite growing your revenue, you need to talk to Paul Maskill. Paul has scaled and sold multiple blue-collar businesses and now helps business owners improve cash flow, profitability, and financial clarity through outsourced CFO services. His clients gain a better understanding of their numbers, build predictable profits, and create a business that supports the life they actually want. One of the things I appreciate most about Paul is he's not just a finance guy. He's been in the trenches as an owner. He understands the challenges of running blue-collar businesses because he's done it himself. If you're doing a few $1 million a year in revenue and want to stop guessing at your numbers and start building real wealth, head over to bluecollaradvisors.com. That's thebluecollaradvisors.com and schedule a discovery call with Paul and his team. Blue Collar Business Advisors, helping blue-collar business owners build financially healthy companies and achieve permanent profitability. This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions. They help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast. What's been the biggest challenge since you guys kind of reopened?
Honestly, the biggest challenge is, like a lot of people, and I don't like calling it a challenge, but it is still the biggest elephant in the room, is getting good people. With the mindset since COVID, I just think that it's been a challenge to get employees to come. Now I felt like we've done a good job in the past, and we have a great team right now. I'm excited about who we have on staff. We have 12 sales guys, 5 locations. We don't do door knocking like Jonas and a lot of the other guys in the industry. It's become extremely popular. Kind of do it old school way. realtor relations, new construction pre-treats, and basically neighbors. A lot of referrals.
So door knocking is not the old school way; it's the new school way.
Yes, yeah. So door knocking's probably only been around about, I say 15 years. I have to, time flies by, but I'm trying to think when the first door knocking company sold to Terminex years ago.
Yeah,
Now it's everybody's door knocking, right?
yeah,
I still don't do it. I don't have a desire to do it. I like the way I grow my business. I still target 30% growth month over month or a year over previous year's month. And at the end of the year, we finished last year in our first 12 months at 5.5 million. We'll probably get close to 8.5 to 9 million this year. So cruising right along, having a good time doing it. We'll try to acquire a couple of small companies this year.
yeah.
We've got a couple under LOI right now that we're trying to get closed. So, and then we'll just keep expanding in Florida. I love the market down here. The pest pressure is extremely high. So, and you got tons of people moving to the state of
The
Florida.
pest pressure is high. I like
Yeah.
that. Well, you guys have a ton of what is it called? Non-indigenous species. Like you have all sorts of stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
In
Florida is just way more than even Georgia. And I grew up in the state of Georgia and Atlanta my whole life. So our pest pressure is about 9 to 10 months out of the year. But in Florida, you're getting a solid 12 months. I mean, there's no super cold weather to cause a slowdown in pest activity.
Yeah,
The panhandle the last 2 years I've lived here has gotten a lot colder than I can ever remember. And I've been
yeah,
visiting here for 25 years. So
yeah,
now I'm like, wow. So people are receptive down here, which is nice. People are looking for good people to do business with.
yeah.
So that is making it easy on that side and to grow the business and everything.
This episode is brought to you by Jonathan Keim and the teams at 360 Commercial Roofing and Top Roof Marketing. If you own or manage commercial property or you're a roofing contractor looking to grow, Jonathan has spent more than a decade helping businesses protect their buildings and scale through proven commercial roofing and marketing systems. His companies specialize in commercial roofing solutions, roof asset management, and marketing built specifically for the roofing industry. Whether you need a trusted commercial roofing partner or want to generate more qualified roofing leads, check out 360 Commercial Roofing or Top Roof Marketing. You can go to www.360, like 360, commercialroofing.com and Top Roof Marketing, www.toproofmarketing.com. Have you noticed any growth just purely from, and I not to get political on the podcast, but the sheer influx of Northerners to Florida, has that helped with business
Oh,
at all?
absolutely. You got to think about it. You got people moving from like a lot of my neighbors in the neighborhood I live in here. A lot of them are from Connecticut and New York and those different places. Well, they don't know how to deal with lizards or snakes or
Yeah,
crazy ants or swarming termites all the time, or a lot of raccoons and rodents down here in the Panhandle. So it's easy to sign up customers because they just don't want pests. And even with the people that are in this development that I'm in here, it's about 1,700 homes. They're big green. They don't want a lot of chemicals. They don't want a lot of product being
Yeah.
put out.
yeah.
So you're having to be creative on that side of doing things more on the green way or low toxicity products to help control their pest issues.
The pest paradise, Florida.
Yes. Hey, it's good for people and it's good for bugs. And the bugs are here first. The people are coming and look at what it's doing, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's interesting. One of my things I always ask pest control guys is, and there's going to be a ton, I'm sure, in Florida. And I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So I'd be remiss.
Yeah.
The construction guys, I always ask, what's your coolest piece of machinery, so I can tell my son.
Yeah.
What's the one that's really like common that might not be common in other parts of the like the guy in Utah was box elder bugs. Like what is potentially the one in Florida? I know there's a bunch. It sounds like.
Oh man. So for down here, it could be the smoky brown or the American cockroach. There are a lot of those down in this market here. The crazy ants are big down here. Yeah,
What's a crazy ant?
It's just an ant. You know how, like, where are you from?
I'm from Connecticut. It's funny you mentioned I live in Colorado now, but I'm from Connecticut.
So in the South, you'll have a lot of just the standard old ants, and you'll see a trail of ants, right? They'll just be in a line, kind of working back and forth.
Yeah.
With the crazy ants, there's no rhyme to reason, right? They're just walking all over the place, and that they're just running rapid. They don't have a system like a lot of your other ants do. So that's a very known species down here. Formosan termites are big in Florida. Plus, you got drywood termites. So you got 3 or 4 species of termites down here that you don't have in most parts of the country. Louisiana, along the coast and the Gulf, you're going to have a lot of those same species of termites, but the pressure is extremely high in Florida. And the last time I heard, there was about 20,000 pest control companies in the country. 6,000 of them, I think, are in Florida, some stupid number like that. It's extremely high. And most of all termite treatments are done here, or California, or Atlanta. Atlanta's is still a big market for termite treatments. So it's a great business for reoccurring revenue. I tell people that, I became a millionaire $75 at a time, and that's what the old business model was back then. It was everything was $75. Now everything's 105 to 125. It's amazing how much the business and the industry has increased in price. But you got insurance that's went up drastically. You've got labor costs that's went up drastically. I can remember paying guys $15 to $18 an hour. And when I consult, I do a lot of consulting in the pest control industry and in a lot of other service industries. And you hear these guys, well, I'm paying these guys $20 to $25 an hour. Well, you're not going to make it if you're doing that. You can start them there, but you got to get them to $30, $35 an hour. We both know how expensive it is to live today. So, I mean, $20 an hour is $800 a week at 40 hours. And I tell people all the time that that's what my mom made running a Ryan Steakhouse in Riverdale, Georgia, back in 1985. When my dad was starting the business, my mom was working at the local steakhouse in town, and they're a big chain company.
Yeah.
So it's expensive, right? So everything has went up in that side. But I love the industry, love the people. We're in the people business is what I like to tell people. We're not in the bug business. We're in the relationship business. We build relationships with people. We take care of their needs, their business, their homes, any kind of investments they have. So that's kind of what, that's what we're in, what we're doing.
Amen, dude. I love that. What's going really well with your business right now? What's a big challenge you guys are facing?
What's going well, I think, is growing the business, is doing extremely well. We've been very pleased with the numbers for the first 4 months of this year. We're probably 1 or 2% ahead of budget, which is nice, when you're trying to grow your business at 30% clips. Probably the thing that's not going so well, I don't have a lot of negative right now. I honestly don't. I love where we're at and what we're doing. I love this leadership that I have on board.
Let's ask you maybe a different way. What do you need to get to where you want to be? What do you feel like the biggest barrier is to get to where you want to be?
Continuing to add people.
Yeah.
Adding the staff. It's how do we get them in, to get them to the culture that we believe in, to get them to the mindset that we believe in. We made a statement and a decision about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We will not hire anybody else within the industry. We want people that have no industry experience come in and let's teach them the way and the expectations we want to set. Because and one thing I've learned about this business is if you're unemployed for a reason. Because you're in the pest control business. Not everybody wants to do it. It's not flashy. It's not sexy. So if you're unemployed, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Either quality of service you're doing for the previous company, calling out sick too much, whatever those reasons are, it's going to be the same reason that I'd probably let you go working for me.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I've never fired a single person. I've just delivered the message. We sit down, we interview you, we come to an agreement. You didn't hold your end of the deal, so we had to part ways. Yeah. And all we're asking for is people to come in, give 40, 50 hours a week, solid customer service, have a great attitude, and we'll pay you more than you've ever made. We take all our employees every year on a cruise, them and their spouses. We try to do quarterly activities with our staff outside of work. So each location has a budget. They can take employees out, do things with them outside of work, because we want to build that. We have what is called a tribe. And my philosophy behind that is we want everybody to live and work and well together. So if somebody's struggling, we're all struggling. If somebody's got cancer in their family, a sibling or a spouse, we're struggling with them. We want to know about it. We want to pray for them about it. We want to be the ones to, be there for them on that side. We have a group me now that I talk to everybody once or twice a week. I try to get on there and send out encouraging messages. Make sure I tell everybody about their birthdays, tell them a happy anniversary for working here. Just anything I can do to encourage them, to let them know that they're here and they're not alone. I told them all the other day, hey, if you got something going on in your life, you need somebody to talk to, I promise you, I ain't going to tell a soul, and I'll pray for you. I'll see if I can help you work through it. I try to do financial counseling for people as well to help them hey, if you're 45 years old or 35 years old and you're going to hope to live the next 25, 30 years, let's put a plan in place to help you get to where you want to be financially.
Yeah.
I believe everybody has a right and an aspiration to be successful in life,
Yeah.
financially, marital status, spiritual status, all of those different things. You just got to have a desire and a personal growth plan to get you there.
Amen. I love that. Yeah, and we're a very faith friendly podcast, by the way. So I love the
Yeah.
connection with the Lord. I believe business is ministry, and this is the reason I dropped out of seminary is because I felt like seminary was training me to be on defense, not offense. I like offense, So
And I agree. I love that approach because I was just joking with somebody the other day. We were talking about kids driving, and both of my kids have been driving since they were 6 and 8 years old, right? Some type of vehicle. And I'm like, I taught both of my kids to drive offensively, not defensively. My daughter's 23, and I promise you, I could give her the keys to a tractor trailer and she'd drive it to California and back. Wouldn't have a problem. She would figure it out and probably be very well at doing it.
yeah,
So, and in life, I think you got to be offensively. I think that's why you got to have a plan of success, a 12-month plan, a 36-month plan, and a 60-month plan for you, your family, and your kids.
yeah,
Because life is changing so much. There's iPhones that we're all carrying around, and screen time is getting out of control. So anything you can do to spend that time to use it to the advantage to be successful, I think is going to do nothing but build great reward for you and your family in the long run.
yeah. I love that. What So what I ask every business, so I'm curious to know how you guys are implementing AI, where it's fitting in your business.
So for us, we use it in a lot of areas. One, we use it when it comes to our website chatting, talking to our customers because it responds quicker, and we'll get
Okay.
in there with it. But we use it on all of our documents now, creating our documents, using it for that side. I like the human touch on phones. I've looked at AI on the phone side, and I just can't do it. You can tell when it's not personable, it's not relatable. So we're not going to use it there until we have to. We may use it after hours, late evenings, because I was amazed through the season of last year. We did a lot of advertising 24 hours a day, and we had a lot of conversations from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. But you got to remember, we're all in a different world now where everybody is working at different hours and shifts. And a lot of people are 1099 employees in the country, which means they're working remote. And they may just be night owls, right? And they sleep during the day or sleep till noon, get up and do their thing, and then they'll sit down and work at a computer from 8 o'clock at night till 3 or 4 in the morning, and enjoy their lifestyle that way. Not everybody's a morning person.
Yeah.
So we're using AI on that side. A lot of pest identification and technology now. So all our guys carry tablets. They can take pictures of insects, especially like down in Florida here. You'll see stuff that you don't see in a lot of places. And it can tell you what it is, what's going on with it, what the best recommendations are, treatment.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of quick answers fast they could call me and get it, but they can do it that way quicker and be able to solve the problem a lot faster for the customer
Yeah.
on that
I love
side.
that. I love that. I'm also big on VAs. I'm curious to know, and weirdly, VAs are big in pest control, which is kind of interesting to me because I've been using VAs for 10 years now. Do you guys have any? And
We
uh,
don't. I do in some other companies I own that they do a lot of support for us, but I
yeah,
haven't done it in the pest control business itself yet
well, I
on
mean,
that side.
I'd love to be your go-to VA vendor,
Yeah.
man. I'd love to be your
Yeah.
guy. That'd be
We need to
awesome.
talk about it. That's for sure. Because
Yeah,
I
let's
know
do
there's
it.
a lot of it we can do on that side, especially again, it goes back to in the world of people that after 5 o'clock, they could pick up from there and go till midnight, right? At least, or 10, 11 o'clock. Because you get people getting home, they get off work at 5, they pick up their kids, they go to ball practice or some kind of function outside of
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
They walk in the door at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden
yeah,
they got ants all over the kitchen sink or
yep,
rodent droppings or
yeah. The
whatever it
hours are
is.
flipped. The hours are
Yeah.
flipped. Yeah,
Yep. So we need that side of it. I could see as we continue to grow this brand. We got big aspirations, so
there
we'll
we
definitely
go.
talk about that.
Let's go
Our
together. No,
budget,
it's interesting. I had, who was it? A guy in New Hampshire, Adam Karachi, I think, and he is a pest control guy, and he said he had like 13 or 14, and he's like, bro, my next hire is not going to be an American, and he was like, I have one doing inside sales for me, and he's pulling 60K a year. I was like, bro, that guy's a millionaire in the Philippines. You better
yeah,
you better be in a gated community over there. Like you better be,
yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have some protection.
I know
Yeah,
that the company that I sold my business to, they have actually transferred a lot of their business to the Philippines for
yeah,
the VA side of things, and I know it's going to hurt some people here and jobs and stuff. But at the same time, you can have both.
Yeah,
And that's
you
what
can
I'm
have
all
both.
about. I want to have my core people here every day. And then after hours, we can shift it to over there. And it worked very well for us.
Well, look, here's my vision. Like AI and VAs, like you, everybody is making a more trying to keep the skilled guy, right? You want to get the guy with the good attitude,
Yeah.
right? And so, like with a gun to my head, you could not convince me to hire an American for admin, right? I would be outsourcing that because I need to go after the guy that can swing a hammer. And
Yeah.
there's five other companies that want him, and so I got to be able to make a more competitive offer. So where else can I squeeze margin or savings or whatever out of my
Good point.
business?
Yeah. That's a great
Yeah.
point.
What's something we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up? What business principles, leadership stuff, family stuff, anything?
For me, it's personal growth. So when I sold the business in 19, I I didn't read my first book till I was 34 years old. So I go all the way through high school working for my dad. He finally decides I'm going to take over the family business. I can remember flying out of Texas and I'm fixing to come and announce to the entire company that I'm taking over. And we only had 3 locations at the time, probably 45, 50 employees. But here I am, 34 years old, fixing to take over the family business. My dad's moving to Lake Martin, retiring. And I bought the simple book, Who Moved My Cheese? I read the book on the plane. I ordered a ton of them. I came in, I gave them to everybody. And I'm like, hey, this is how we're going to be. We're going to constantly keep growing and moving the business to a new level. Because my dad didn't want to. He didn't have that desire. He was older. He was making a great living and didn't have the aspirations to really grow the business. So and I'm like, hey, how big do you want the company to be? He said, I don't care. Just send me my check every month. I don't care how big you get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it changed. So I really have been on more of a personal growth journey. I started in 19. I was blessed in 20 or 21 to go speak at a college the first time, talk to a lot of young entrepreneurs, telling them about business and about money and life. Because I wasted a lot of my time and talent from 18 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the biggest thing I have passion for now is how many kids can I educate that are in that window to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that, because if I would have done things right, instead of retiring at 47, I could have retired at 37. So to me, it's like, how can I get these kids saving
47's
money?
pretty good though, by the way.
Yeah,
47's pretty
it
good.
is. It's a great number, but at the same time, and I was blessed the last 10 years of owning my business, the first one, that I got to see every sporting event of my kids, every barrel race of my daughters, being at practice, dragging her around in that horse and trailer until she was big enough to do it on her own. And I want that for every person and human that's possible.
Yeah.
So anything I can do to coach personal growth, I go around now and speak at schools, talking to kids about that, what they can do. I would encourage a lot of kids not to go to college between me and you. I think it's a racket right now. And if you're not going to be a doctor, an architect, or anything that's a specialty skill that you need some type of college degree, don't go waste 4 years. Come to work for me for 4 years, and I promise you'll be making twice as much money as every kid getting out of college.
Yeah, amen. It's funny. I used to do college financial planning, and I used to help families figure out how to pay for college. I basically caught families kind of with their pants down. Like a lot of the middle class families, they can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
And so, and the irony was the whole time I was like, it's all formality. Like it's all like, but 100%. But Elon Musk was like, you don't even need to go to. I wouldn't even waste time in medical school anymore because robots will be doing that soon. But I mean, he's crazy,
But I don't disagree with him. I have a young man I know right now going to medical school, and he's at the very beginning. And I said, do you realize in 8 years from now, you may not be needed?
Yeah.
I said, because you're going to have a robot be able to walk in. They're going to be able to take your blood. That machine, that VA or AI is going to be able to tell everything wrong with you quicker and faster and relate to you. Now, will doctors still be needed? I do agree, but I think it'll be at such a smaller percentage.
Yeah.
And people, we may not trust them today, but 10 years from now, we're really going to trust them.
Yeah.
Because think about how fast it's already come in the last 3 to 4 years. What's it going to look like 10 years from now?
Yeah. I mean, it's insane to see like UPS and companies like that laying off 40, 50,000, people at a time. I just am like, learn to start a business. Now, if you don't know now how to do it, you're going to be forced to do it soon. So, yeah.
I believe too that you hear this comment that there's going to be more millionaires produced from AI than ever before. And I agree with it. I tell all these kids every day, if you are broke, you're lazy. Because you give me a YouTube channel and find a passion, and YouTube can teach you how to do it. It'll teach you. You got YouTube telling you what to do and how to do it through people that are successful like me and you. And then you go to AI and it helps you write it up to do it. So you hear, hey, I want to get in the pest control industry and I want to build my own pest control company. Okay, great. So I go and watch learning how to kill bugs through YouTube and all the Jonas Olsons of the world or Tony Carders or Alan Drapers. There's so many great people out there doing it. So then you go and get that knowledge, and then, okay, then you can't be scared to just go talk to people. So AI writes the business plan for you, tells you exactly how to do it. Then you go out and start building your customers. That's what the thing about the door knocking has done to the pest control industry is you've got all these kids that would sell $300 to $1 million a year in pest control, and they're like, I'm not going to do it for that guy anymore. I'm going to go start knocking doors for myself. And I coach 3 or 4 of those kids now, and they're doing very well. They're running $1 million companies, and they've been in business 24 months.
That's insane. That's insane.
Just by knocking doors, not scared to get rejected.
I'm telling you right now, I started out interviewing builders. I've done HVAC, plumbing, electrical. Pest control is by far my favorite home service because it's the startup costs are low. You know, it's by and large, it's primarily chemicals. It's recurring revenue. I mean, it makes total sense to me why PE is just, you know, chomping at the bit over pest control.
And I can remember about 10 years ago, Forbes magazine said, and I think you probably go back and Google it somewhere, the number one way to become a millionaire in the country was through pest control industry. Because back then, the whole article was based on one truck, $10,000 or $15,000 back then. You get a loan to pay for it. So back then, the payment was $200 or $300 a month, not $1,000. And you get a stack of business cards and $1,000 worth of equipment back then. And here you are, one customer at a time. One turns into 2. You do great. You ask for referrals. You keep doing. Next thing you know, you're running 200 stops and you got to hire somebody else because now you can go grow it again. And it just compounds, like you're saying. And that's why that reoccurring business model is so great. So that's why I got back in the business too. One was a lot of my previous employees wanted me to get back in it. Plus, both my kids were like, hey, we want to do something together. And we know there's more flexibility in the pest control business than over the trash business. The trash business was 52 weeks a year, no days off. So if there was a holiday on Thanksgiving, you're working that Saturday. So you couldn't have long weekends. So there was a lot of things that went back to like, hey, the lifestyle is just as good in the pest control business, if not better. And there's a little bit more flexibility than there was in the trash business. On that side.
Tony, we've talked about a lot today. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you want to make sure we include?
I think the biggest thing for me now is not giving up. I tell people every day that you got to write your story, right? Just like you're doing now. You've been very successful. So now you've created a new thing that you're doing with the big hitter. And you're going through that phase of life and learning from other people. I think for me, it's just making sure that everybody continues that growth. You know, it goes back to don't be lazy, be productive. I'm a 5 a.m. guy. I read the book one time and got hooked on it. And
Miracle
I've been
morning.
up. Yeah, now I'm at 4:30. Every day I'm up at 4:30. When I come back to the central time zone from Atlanta, I got back the other day because I was in Atlanta for a couple of weeks or traveling. Then I got back here and I'm like, oh, I woke up at 3:30 this morning because it's 4:30 where I'd been. So I'm like, okay, I've been up 12 hours now already, rolling right along like it's nothing.
When I'm doing my CrossFit at 4 a.m., I can text you and you've had half your day already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then that's the funny thing is a lot of my employees know they can start texting me at 6 a.m. I'm like, I need about an hour and a half to it myself. And starting at 6 a.m., you can start calling or texting. I got a couple of my leaders, they'll call me and go, hey, I got this issue or I'm thinking about this because they know I'm up, I'm wide awake by then, and I'm rolling. I've been to the gym like you and coming back and doing my devotion in the morning and all that good stuff and preparing my day mentally and physically.
I saw a note or an article somewhere that Jeff Bezos wouldn't make major decisions after 1 p.m. because his brain was just fried. There was so much noise. And I really held on to that. Like all of my best stuff is in the morning. All my creative time, all of my all that stuff, always in the morning. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what I started doing that's been amazing. I heard it on a podcast recently was take 30 minutes in the morning with not looking at your phone, reading anything, and just sit in the dead quiet. So I've been doing that the last 2 or 3 days, and it has been amazing. And it said in there that the first 20 minutes, your brain's all over the place. And then when it gets down to that last 20 minutes or the last 10 or 15 minutes, your brain really starts getting clarity and you start realizing, hey, I need to do this. And it starts giving you guidance, and your own spirit within you will tell you, hey, I need to do this, or I need to lean this way, or, okay, I've been thinking about this decision or problem. And it starts giving you better clarity. And in the podcast, the guy talked about, or in the thing I was watching was, hey, you need to get it to an hour. It's hard. And the first day I kept wanting to pick up my phone. I kept wanting to do other things. And I'm like, I cannot believe I cannot sit still for 30 minutes. Second and third day got better. And this morning was a lot better, but it was cool. It was cool seeing that
Well, dude,
process
I'll tell
happen.
you what, a hack for my prayer life, because I just was like I was really wanting to grow in prayer. I really wanted to commune with God more. Putting my phone down and walking for 15 minutes, that is a daily non-negotiable for me. And I pray while I walk because I'm so ADD. If I'm anywhere near my phone, a screen, or anything, like, it's bad. So I got to get out of the house, even when it's cold as crap. It snowed a foot in Denver. I'll put on my boots and I'll walk around and I'll talk to
Yeah.
God. And my prayer life is like, stuff happens, dude. When you pray, the Lord does stuff, and it's been really cool. It's made a huge, huge difference in my business, my anxiety levels, all that stuff, man. I like it.
I'm going to try that. I kind of like that idea because when we were in the I went to the BVI's on a big trip last week. And so in that trip, I told myself, I took my personal assistant that I hired about 3 months ago with me. And I'm like, look, you're going to carry your phone and take pictures because I'm not carrying my phone. I really need to disconnect.
Yeah.
And I was able to realize that my phone time went from 8 to 9 hours a day down to less than 2 hours. And I was
Wow.
okay. And I survived it.
Yeah.
And then I did the Masters, I guess, a month ago or so. Went to bed, blessed to go there for the day, and went a whole 8 hours without seeing my phone, and it didn't kill me. So I'm like, wow, this addiction has gotten out of control. So
Yeah.
now I'm doing a mastermind in late August. I'm going to be 5 days hiking up in the North Montana without my phone. No technology allowed.
Nice.
It's a CEO mastermind, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, man, what an honor to have you on the show. I'm excited. We're going to be best friends. We're going to get you some VAs.
Awesome.
Where can people find out more about your business if they wanted to learn more?
TrueNorthPest.com. You can follow me on social at Driven for Success 85 through Instagram, or Tony Carder on Facebook. So I'm on all those things. So I look forward to it.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the show.
All right. Thank you, brother.